Come the dawn, come the cold, come the beating air, chill the night, soldier light, we'll be dancing there and rise up, days stretching weary wings. Come the day, come the dawn, somewhere in the rain. Lull my heart, lull my life, forget everything. Come the day, thief of the night, lifts his voice to sing. Now rise up, ever victorious. Lull the tide, lull the light, comes the sun again. Now rise up, ever victorious. Lull the tide, lull the light, comes the sun again. Hey everybody. Hold on, I got a monkey with some things here. Hi Annette, hi Lisa, hi Marcy, hi Baronessa, hi everyone. It's so good to see you. This is sound check, check 1, 2. If you can hear the drums, let me know. I shouldn't be able to hear them right now, but, oh, there they are. Okay, good. Good. Is the balance okay between them and me? Okay. Just looking at the greetings. Annette, thank you so much for the book. She sent me, ouch. Sent me The Essential Lenormand by Raina George, because I'm struggling with them so. And the pennies are dropping one at a time. One at a time. The one that's really dropping now is that Lenormand requires the context of the question. It requires that specific context. So it's like, you're looking at the symbols, oh, this means this and this, but there's nothing to relate it to. That's because I didn't put out a specific question. What you relate it to is the context you create by asking a question. So, sometimes it takes me a while, you guys. Good. I'm just so grateful. I'm so very grateful for it. I'm diving into it immediately. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the adventure. After reading one system for so many years, it's really great to be stumped by something and, think that there's still a door to open that's got a lot to hold for me. It's exciting. My major hurdle, the mountain that I had to get over, see, the symbols are starting to internalize, is just the can't predict the future part, So this is the grand experiment too. I am always open to having my mind changed and blown, always. In fact, I kind of used to have it as sort of a goal. I just see it as a success every day, but I look to having my mind blown at least once every day. At least once every day. Okay, so who's connecting here? Baronessa and Marcy? Awesome. All right. So, happy Yule, everybody. The sun enters Capricorn at 5:02. I'm sorry, I am so wiggly. I am. This is the Uranian energy. This is the Aquarian energy, My twitchiness gets twitchier. And also my tailbone hurts, and I'm trying to find a comfortable place on my little cushion. Okay. Anyway, the sun enters Capricorn at 5:02 Eastern Time Zone tomorrow morning. And if you want to go to like the Weather Channel and look at the 10-day forecast, and on each day it'll say the time of sunrise and sunset, and you can actually look, tracking through the days, to see when things are getting longer. And I was surprised by something, because I was looking at it and it was saying that sunrise was at 7:48, and sunset was at like 4:59, and then it went 7:48 and 5 o'clock, and then it went 7:49 and 5 o'clock and 7:49, and it went, the sunrise got later by a couple of minutes over a few days. And so it's not like there's one point where all of a sudden it happens and the days are getting longer. The days are still steadily getting longer as of Tuesday, but it's wonkier than I thought. Interesting. So that is the point at which Sun enters Capricorn, and where we go from Sagittarius into Capricorn. We go from Jupiter's territory, Sag, into Saturn's territory, which is Capricorn. Jupiter and Saturn that are holding hands right now, dead on conjunct in Aquarius, in the sign that Saturn used to rule before Uranus was discovered. So Saturn stays in familiar territory. The shift is from earth to air. So the shift is from the practical, the structured, to air, about ideas and science and the structure of ideas. But Jupiter goes into completely unfamiliar territory in Aquarius. And here's where we see the justice system, our beliefs and philosophies going into the realm of broadening it even more and thinking about it in humanitarian terms. So tomorrow at 1:00 something, I think it's 1:02 or 1:03 p.m. Eastern Time, is when that conjunction is exactly exact. I mean, it is now. They are creeping by minutes, you guys. So the conjunction, the grand conjunction, it's not like you're going to be able to watch them coming together. They've been there, and astronomically, it becomes exact to the minute, but it is now exact to the degree, and that's close enough for astrology. 2 degrees is close enough for transits in astrology. And of course, living in Northeast Ohio, where we have more overcast days than Seattle, we're not going to get to see anything. So I'm sad. I am sad about that. At any rate, let's talk about Yule. Let's talk about Yule and what it's all about. Interestingly, I went out to the store, and on the way home, I saw a hawk getting harried by a bunch of crows. And it's like, that's interesting. Okay, so hawk is the messenger of spirit. And you think about, okay, messages trying to come in from spirit. And then crows, which is universal law, come in, you know? So thinking about what that means, and part of me, the crows are talking about universal law, which is karma. It's cause and effect. Karma is nothing more than the physical law of cause and effect, period. So they're coming in to, you know, I'm seeing it as everybody's like looking to spirit and to elevate ourselves spiritually, and the crows are coming in to say, but you still got karma you got to deal with. You know, it's nice to get all spiritual, but that doesn't mean karma stops for you. Whatever context you're in, we tend to think of the spiritual life. Here's the message coming through now. We tend to think of the spiritual life as that place where we arrive and then it's all gravy, you know? And then it's all great from then on. I will never feel stressed again. I will never confront anger again. I will keep my house clean and pay all the bills on time, or there won't even be any more bills, no more debt. I won't have to do this anymore. I won't have to be an adult anymore. I can just float away and burn my sage and play my drums, and, you know, life will be groovy. But guess what? You know, so that's the message that we want to hear. And then karma comes in and says, bitch, you in a body? And everything you do and choose in that body has consequences to it, and that's karma. And it's going to keep going until, you know, you figure it out. And what's the figuring out? That here we are in this present moment. All I am, all that I ever will be, is right here in this present moment. You are living the potential right now in this present moment. So get to grips with it. Live that spiritual life. Be that spiritual person you want to be in this present moment and the next present moment, each one as it arrives. And let go of any idea of, you know, goals and arrivals and attainment and someday. Just let it go and do the work every minute of every day. So, yes, that's the Hawk and the Crows lecture. Let me catch up with some comments here. Yeah, look at everybody. Now, we can't all start speaking different languages in the comments here. Or you can if you want, you know. Who am I to say? All right. All right. Yep. The book. I can't wait to get into this book. What I'm wearing around my neck. Yes, this is my moonstone. Here. I'm trying to. I never keep my my image mirrored when I'm shooting. I don't like it. But it gets confusing when you're trying to tip things. So yes, that is my moonstone. I love her so much. She gets charged, but you know, when I wear jewelry, I wear it all the time. I'm not one that changes jewelry a lot and, oh, today I'll wear this, except for earrings, because I don't usually wear earrings. But what goes around my neck, it stays on my neck until like the full moon, and then I put it out to charge, and then it comes back. Okay, so today, I am leaving a gigantic hole for Spirit to get through today, folks. There have been some wonderful women on Messenger. A woman, my friend Laura, who was a mum drummer, gathered a group of women on Messenger, and we've been talking about, you know, what we do for Solstice. So what I started off with, and I'm going to have to remember to go onto YouTube and give the attribution below because that is an amazing song called Sol Invictus by Thea Gilmore. And 5 years ago, I was getting ready to go to church at the UU, and it was solstice morning, and I set up my tripod because we live at the base of, we're not down in a ravine, but we're at the bottom of a hill that, you know, goes down in a ravine and a big hill on the other side. And so the sun, we don't actually see the sunrise until it's well in the sky and it comes up over the hill. And it was solstice morning, and it wasn't cloudy, and I thought, hell, what the hell, you know? So I set up the camera, and I knew it would run for a certain amount of time, and I set it up, hit record, and then I left for church. And what I caught was what you saw. It is on my channel. Look under the Wheel of the Year playlist. It's been there for, you know, it was one of the first videos I put up. But if you didn't get a chance to watch it, please watch it. And, you know, if I'd had the face cam on, you would have seen me being an absolute sobbing mess during it. That song reduces me every time, every single time I hear it. There's so much power. And Sol Invictus means the invincible sun, you know, ever victorious. But listen to the words to that, put headphones on, turn it up loud, and watch that video and watch the light. And that's all I'm going to say. Just do that, okay? But anyway, this group on Messenger has been talking about what they do for solstice and for Yule. And, you know, we are usually so consumed with just Christmas. You know, we usually have dinner on the solstice and family over and stuff, but that's not happening this year. So I'm thinking more about ritual and just, you know, little things to do. And one woman makes snowflakes and cuts them in such a way that there's like a nice big piece of paper in all the sections, and then she writes wishes on that, and then she burns it. Someone else was talking about writing down 13 wishes, and then you burn 12 of them. Don't look at them, you fold them up, you burn 12 of them, and that's giving those to spirit. And then the 13th you look at, and that's the one that is yours to work on. So I thought that was a pretty interesting ritual. Certainly fires, we will certainly have a fire tomorrow. And today, I thought, rather than doing just a prayer circle, we would do a working that centers on the cards and centers on reading. And like I said, I'm leaving a big hole open for spirit here. What else did I want to talk about before we do that? Oh, just some themes as far as the goddess and the god go. The goddess at Yule. Well, the goddess is there always. The goddess is infinite. She's never born, she never dies. You know, each part of her contains each and every part, so she's just this ever-turning wheel. She's evergreen. She is evergreen. So the evergreen that is such a symbol at this time of year is a symbol of the goddess who abides. You know, the earth is always beneath our feet. But the god is the one that dies and rises as the sun. And he died at Samhain, and now he's about to be reborn. And the goddess at this time of year, I mean, she's both the crone, but here's the miracle, the crone giving birth, or the virgin giving birth. You know, she's barren, supposedly, but she's going to give birth. But, so she is in gestation. So you have this idea of the earth kind of withdrawing into herself. And it's like a woman going into her isolation or into her labor. And then she gives birth to the sun on the solstice. And he arises ever victorious. So that's his victory over death, is arising on the solstice again. And then there's also the Oak King and the Holly King, and I've got some holly and some oak here. And if you have holly in your house, you know, like a plant, You're supposed to take all the holly out of your house before the point of the solstice. So before 5:02 tomorrow morning, get all the holly out of your house. Or if you've got holly, decorations, put them away. But I'm thinking I'm thinking the real plant holly. It's supposed to be bad luck after Yule to have holly in your house, because the holly king is the twin that gets defeated at the winter solstice by the oak king. They fight again at the summer solstice, and the holly king takes over. So they are twins that fight each other and kill each other. So let's start now with some sage. And, you saw me, I'm very twitchy today. I'm also mentally very twitchy, and this is part of dealing with chronic pain, and it's particularly bad today. One of the things that does is makes it difficult to track mentally. All right, so let's pause and let's ask the air and the fire to come and be present to us, clearing our mind and our vision. Bringing the words she wants to say easily to Luna's mind and mouth. Letting her mind and her mouth work in tandem together. And then, this is the salt water. Let's invite in the water and the earth. So that we may feel joy, so that we may feel connected with each other, and to make this working manifest. So I'm starting with the candles dark because I wanted to look at the dark side and the light side. And I have cards here, and I'm hearing that I need to go with those now, that I pulled earlier. And then it's like, now I'm just going to throw it all the winds and we'll do it. But I have another deck to wing it with. But this deck, the Voyager deck, and I went with decks today that have a very Aquarian feel to them. Because of this, I mean, the Aquarian energy to me, and again, it's really important to know something about your natal chart, because that's going to tell you how this will affect you. If you have no planets in Aquarius, or you don't have Uranus like connecting with your moon or your sun, it might not hit you in a very personal way. Just kind of a general thing. I have Uranus conjuncting my sun, and so it hits me very personally. But I just feel generally twitchier. Jupiter and Saturn together are like Santa and Scrooge. Jupiter is, I mean, think about it, Santa Claus, everything he stands for. He's fat, number one. He's jolly, number two. He's generous, number three. He's long traveling. He goes over the entire globe, number four. All of those things are Jupiterian, Sagittarian things. Those are keywords for Sagittarius and Jupiter. Jupiter's action expands. Saturn's action contracts. Saturn is Scrooge. He's a miser. He's old. He's mean. He's ambitious. All of those limiting things, He's the coldness. Think about Santa, jolly heat, rosy cheeks, and everything that, yeah. So Saturn and Jupiter together in Aquarius. This is where we find structure and bring in generosity to the structures that exist, where our philosophy needs to take form. Saturn is the limitation, which is form. You don't get form without boundaries. Jupiter is formless and just, broad. So, but it's our beliefs and our philosophies and our generosity and justice. It rules justice. And you put that, it's time to bring justice into the structures that exist and to put structure to our beliefs and our philosophies. So put them into action. Aquarius, for the benefit of humanity. For the benefit of humanity. All right. So I'm looking at just the elements here, kind of looking at the dark first and then the light, and sort of on a more personal level and then a more collective level. All right. And my hands are shaking. Actually, my hands are only shaking when I try to use them because of my neck. All right. So we are offering fire of Azrael. And you see, I am all over the map, you guys. Pause again to invite our allies and ancestors, guides and guardians in, to invite the spirit of the solstice in, the goddess in her evergreen form, and the god resting, waiting, ready to come to birth. We invite these energies in, and please bring us your messages. Please bring us your wisdom for us to take into this darkest part of the year so it can come to birth again in an active, visionary way. Welcome, and so mote it be. All right. Oh, hi, Anne. Your second tree. I've only ever had one tree. I only ever will have one tree. I also want to offer some frankincense and some myrrh. All right. Should I light candles now? I think I should. All right, so the first one I'm lighting is for the element of air. And what we need to do, what we're dealing with mentally, intellectually. And the Hermit comes up here. And so mentally, so I'm looking at this first group as kind of the shadow group. And then we'll bring in the light from the Starseed Oracle. So Hermit talks about loneliness and isolation and our hermitiness that has been enforced upon us this solstice, and that is to nobody's liking. So this is where we use that isolation. Here we are anyway. You know, we're 3/4 of the way into the cave. We might as well take the rest of the steps into the darkness of the cave, because in that cave, there's a treasure waiting for us. And there's a difference between solitude and isolation. Solitude is a choice. Isolation is a defense. Or, you know, something that can be imposed externally. Isolation can be like a punishment. Solitude is, I need solitude. It's something, it's solace. It's something we look for, you know. So we need to deal with the isolation, deal with where we're feeling alone and disconnected mentally, thought processes. Where are our thoughts now as we're going through the darkness here? The next one is Earth. no, I'm sorry, fire. I'm going air, fire, water, earth, and then spirit. All right. Hey. Lottie Lord, I am a danger to myself today. You might see something. All right. So fire, what are we dealing with in the fire realm? And this says dullness. I mean, how have you been feeling? I know depression has been my constant companion. And it's been, I've heard some very negative things coming out of my mouth. And, you know, I have to listen and go, yeah, the little girl inside is needing some attention here. We're feeling very dull and worn down. And why not? You know, so our personal light, look at this, fire, the solstice, the light is dimming, down, down, down. So that's where we're at personally too, is our personal light just feels very dim. All right, I think I'll do it the easy way. This is water. And 2 came out for this when I was looking at these before. Whoopsie. Wrong ones. Okay, these were the 2. Feeler and fulfillment. So for water, and they were like this. For water, for feeler to come out, you know, yes, we are like a raw wound. We are certainly feeling whether or not, you know, no matter how protected we are and isolated we certainly are still feeling. And fulfillment on this side talks about, you know, what are we feeling about fulfillment? This is feeling supremely unfulfilling as a holiday season. And I know a lot of people are feeling like things are sort of unreal. I mean, it's like, what, Christmas is at the end of this week? Really? What? People are feeling very sad and depressed. It's just a weird, weird feeling. So to get to the place of, and you know, we're used to things being weird like that when we are like sick. I'm sick and I can't, you know, I had to cancel Christmas because of something like that. But if you're actually healthy and just isolated at home, it feels weird. And we can fall into that kind of wanting to behave like we're sick, but you're not. So, you know, to strike a balance in this new territory has been very difficult. And we need to find our fulfillment in other places, in other ways. Mine, we are baking up a storm. I'm making all kinds of candy, and we are delivering to our family and friends. So the next one then is Earth, and this is Hierophant. So what are we dealing with in the earth level? Same old, and having to just submit to rules that aren't ours. You know, so many things that people don't have a say in here. So many things. And Hierophant here in the earth element also talks about really just needing to check our routines and how we're going about our day. So it's time to ferret out where we might have lapsed into some habits that aren't healthy for us. So this is the shadow side of this, just habits that aren't good for us. Whether habits of eating, you know, it's been very easy to take solace in food during this pandemic and just say, you know, I'm just going to, and during the holidays especially, woohoo, here we go. I mean, we're baking and doing cookies and stuff, but I have made my husband freeze all the cookies that he's made because I said, we're not going to keep eating them. That's what our holiday is going to be about, getting to eat the cookies for a little bit of time, and then we go back, you know. So check your habits, check your routine now, and make sure that you update it so that it really is serving you and not being a detriment to your health. And then spirit on the shadow side. See, I feel better now with the candles lit. Was purity. the Two of Wands. And okay. And with Spirit, the Purity card, I think where we're at is just really needing to purify our relationship with Spirit, clarify the relationship with Spirit. So looking at, I don't know. I think this is having to do with practices like meditation, like cleansing baths, okay? Like eating good things, pure water, that kind of stuff. But I really also think it has to do with intention and the part of ourselves, which should be all of ourselves, that we bring to Spirit and what our true connection is. So I'm looking at this as just, to clarify. We need to clarify the relationship with Spirit. Water break. All right. Oh, hi, West Stars. We've got a new person here. Let me see, what have I missed? Okay. So take a moment, ask with me. I'm going to spread these cards out and choose. I do believe. All right, Annette, that's awesome. To give up your unhealthy eating patterns. Yep, big change in your health. The alignment will be some awesome momentum. Yes, it will be. And, as we are willingly going into the holidays going, yes, we are going to eat the things that we normally don't eat. And, the backlash is pretty instant. That's one of the reasons why my pain is increased, is because I've been eating wheat. And not daily, I still am cooking clean pretty much, but rice, I've been eating a lot of rice, and that is a grain as well. It's not as bad as wheat, but it's got the lectins too, and it's taken a few days, but it's hit me in the joints and it's hitting me in the digestive system. So, we enjoy, but I actually have an easier time just going in moderation and not pigging out on things, because that backlash is there, and it becomes easier to make it a choice down the road. And we will absolutely be back on keto right after New Year's, and it's no problem at all when we go back on. I'm already hearing the grumblings. I can't wait till and it's like, okay, if we're going to do this, don't bitch about it the whole time. We'll go back on, we enjoy this, and then, when we're back on keto and we're going, oh, I miss having the chips. Okay, well, think about the bitching you were doing when you were eating them. So anyway, good for you, Annette. Yeah, it really is. When we went on keto, I had gotten to that place of just going, I can't stand this anymore. And I knew instinctively that there was just an adjustment I needed to make. It wasn't about dieting and no calories and everything. It was just, I know if I could just find the key, the weight would melt off. And that key was keto. When my niece and nephew walked in the door, and it was like, holy shit, what are you guys doing? So yeah, miraculous. Yes, sugar. Yes. Well, that's so the main thing I've been eating over the weekend, I made a couple batches of peanut brittle, and these are mostly to give away, and I made toffee yesterday for the first time in years, because I've been terrified of it after I fucked it up a couple times in different ways and didn't understand why. I got afraid of it, but I did it. I watched some videos, made it yesterday, so I ate a lot of sugar yesterday, and yes, that is the source of my pain today, for sure. Yeah, I may just do a video totally about keto and our keto journey, or maybe a playlist, because it's incredible. I mean, I've lost 50 pounds on it, and I'm keeping it off. I, go up and down a little bit depending, but when we go back to sugar, we know once we stop eating sugar, the weight falls off real fast because it's all water weight. For every molecule of sugar in your bloodstream, of glucose in your bloodstream, you retain 2 molecules of water. So it's all water retention. As soon as you stop that glucose going through your blood, the water weight just flies off. So, all right. Anyway, focus with me, please, because I want this to be more of a collective thing here. And thinking forward to the light and the light that we're bringing and the reason that we're all together doing this stuff on frickin' YouTube, just focus with me of what message wants to come through for us for the collective. That sounded like a 1. Oh, I said I was going to spread them out, didn't I? I didn't do that. All right. So that one's air. All right. This one's fire. Oops. See, you guys, I'm all over the place. Where do we go? What a mess I am. What a mess I am. I'm at least glad that I don't have the need to not look like I'm a mess in front of Goddess and the whole world. All right, this next one wants to come right off the top. That's water. I'm looking for earth. Okay, earth is back here. All right, I'm not going to stick it under there and lose it. Feeling maybe down here, but yes, I'm getting down here. And I want, come on, that one. All righty. So that one was spirit. This one was earth. Let's see what we got here. So, for us mentally, we need to know you're not alone. And look what came up here. Isolation, physical connection, community, on top of the Hermit card. Hello. All right, so this is going completely against that isolation and reminding us that we're not alone. Physical connection, community. And I want to tell you guys too, if you jump over and sign up for Discord and get on my Discord, it opens when I turn on my computer in the morning. And I had somebody out of the blue jump on there and message me about a deck the other day, and we had a nice, little conversation about it. That is a way that you can contact me. The Zen Witch on Facebook is another way that you can contact me. I look at that inbox maybe just once a day, but I look at that inbox every day. So, you can reach out. You can reach out. And I'm really, once the holidays are over, because right now I am just focused on cooking and baking and delivering to my family and kind of getting through it, but getting through it well, getting through it. We don't know how it's going to unfold. So we're like, but we're going to get through it. After that, I am really, really, really working on my astrology course. I will still be delivering exclusive content to my patrons at the Goddess level, and doing Zoom, just doing Zooms with my patrons on all the levels. So jump on over there. But Discord is a place, once there's enough people on Discord, people kind of come and go. I'm still getting used to how Discord works and what people use it for. It's kind of weird. I feel like I would have to schedule something there. But I think what I might do is use the Discord to announce the things that I'm scheduling along with my Facebook page. So just make sure you're hooked up on those platforms, okay? Um, but ways that we can be together and start getting to know each other a little bit better too. Um, yeah. Well, that's what keto does, is it kills the cravings. Absolutely dead gone, because sugar was just I mean, true addiction. I can't choose, you know. But I am finding, even with all that candy around, um, I'm not having cravings. It's there, I'm indulging, but I'm not craving. And I wonder if, you know, the keto mindset is just kind of sunk into that point now. I don't know. Anyway, let's look at fire here. So, mentally getting into community. This says physical connection, but we're going to be doing cyber connections, okay? Child of the cosmos, for fire, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. So this is saying, fire-wise, it's time to start letting that intelligence come out, tapping that as a creative resource. Time to start letting spirit do the talking through you. What's difficult, you know, the really difficult patches that I go through are, you know, when I'm in a lot of pain, my attention is just in my body. When I have a lot of anxiety, it's like when I was feeling these cards. And so here's a little mini lesson on, you know, if you're doing cards this way, what am I doing? What I'm doing is putting my attention right here and to the temperature. And I feel a temperature change. Or, you know, sometimes, usually I'll feel like just heat. Or I will feel a little stab, you know, like a prickling. And I pay attention to that. But when I started doing that, because I'm on, you know, this is performing, I'm on, and you guys are there, my anxiety is high. And I was doing that, and I'm thinking about this, you know, and everything. And it's like, okay, I have to adjust. I have to pull my attention into my body and then direct it right to that spot in my hand. And I have to let go of the fear and anxiety of this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work. So it's just forget all that, back up and put my attention right at the palm of my hand and feel when I feel those sensations. Okay. So this also is talking about listening to your own fucking truth, knowing when you know. Fire is vision, okay, and clarity and purpose. It's purpose. And you know your purpose. It's not for anybody else to tell you what it is. And it's time now for you to start living that purpose. That purpose is to shine spirit through. That purpose is to be the voice of the universe speaking its own truth. That purpose is to be the goddess manifest and glorying in her creation, reveling in her creation. So this is another thing you can do, you know, when you're celebrating, is just put yourself in, you know, invoke the goddess into you and say, look at the glory of your creation. Let's enjoy it, you know? So yeah, let's see what's coming up here. Okay. Keto definitely looks like it's going to be a topic coming up in the future. All right, water. Interesting. This says earthed. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. All right, as far as the water element goes, in the world, but not of it. What does that mean? That means that I am spirit clothed in flesh and that I never forget that I'm spirit. And it's so hard because this is such a strong pull. You know, this body has all of its sensations. And those sensations translate into thoughts, and those thoughts translate into feelings and interpretations and storylines. And then we are fully earthbound in all of our woes, you know. And so, you know, lately the depression for me is just, you know, pain. Like I said, pain is a big one. But I've been so terribly grumpy, and I don't get a pass because I do astrology or read tarot or I know some shit spiritually. I don't get a pass from it. I too get lost. And at this time of year, this is a manifestation of me going into the darkness. It's kind of getting lost and being really depressed and forgetting there's a way out. Forgetting that there's a way out. So, yeah, I hear that. I hear that, Baronessa. The county I'm in just came back down to red from purple, which is the highest level you can go. And, we've been going to the store. I've been wearing my N95 mask with one of my double layer cloth masks over top of it. 3 layers. And, I have to go slowly through the store because I'll start going, ooh, I'm feeling lightheaded. And it's like, that's because we're getting mostly carbon dioxide instead of oxygen. So I have to exhale, pause, and then breathe in very deeply and slowly. But yeah, it's terrifying, and we're turning a corner. So Saturn and Jupiter into Aquarius is also this vaccine coming out. Jupiter's the mass distribution. I think Saturn is just the achievement of the vaccine, the triumph of science, the discipline of science. Saturn is discipline, and the ideas that come out of the discipline of science for the benefit of humanity. So here is how this is playing out and describing where we are right now. So we're turning a corner, and this is the darkest part, you guys. And the hell of it is, though, that yes, the sun starts coming back tomorrow, and that is that solid hope that we can hold on to, that we're on the waxing side now, folks, because immediately when we get to the waxing side, we're in the coldest part of the winter. Cold. And we're dealing with, if we were still harvesting crops, now we come to reckoning, what are we going to have to get through the winter? What kind of winter? We're finding out what kind of winter it's going to be. So we are turning the corner, though, and just keep holding on to hope. Keep holding on to hope. But this one, Earthed in the water realm, talks about grounding your emotional energy, and also talks about maybe looking at those feelings in terms of your body, what you have to do for your body, because your feelings are physical. Emotions are physical. The thoughts that go along with them aren't physical, so you have to address that part too. But this is the part since this is the light side of things, learning how to be human. So this is talking about compassion. Learning how to be human, the compassion that you desire for yourself, we give to other people. And so looking at this as a rebirth of compassion in practical terms, where we really truly feel other people's feelings, and they are essential to our own happiness. So, well, I pray, Marcy, that everybody stays safe. That's just, but here it's like if people are out doing their thing without masks and shit, it's on them. They're going to take themselves out of the gene pool, and there's nothing we can do about them. But we are certainly staying down low, very down low. Yes, I agree, Baronessa. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. That's the compassion we're talking about here. It's not about, oh, I don't care if I get it. It's how will you feel when someone you care about gets sick and you knew it was your fault? How would that feel? And you should feel the same way about anyone, because somebody loves that person that you're infecting. So... And that's pretty much all we're doing, Marcy, too, is social distance and masks. But it has ratcheted up. I haven't seen anybody without masks in the stores because it's gotten very serious. So, compassion. Taking that compassion to a very practical level. That's the earthed part. The earthed part. And then for Earth, karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. All right. So this is the acknowledgement here that the people we are physically with in our physical family, our blood family, our earth family, these are karmic ties. Not all of them, a little asterisk there, not all of them. There are certain people that came in an opportunistic way. A door was left open. Unintentional pregnancies, not every unintentional pregnancy. It just depends. And sometimes intentional ones. You open that door. Usually intentional, though, when you're aiming to get pregnant, you are kind of putting a call to the other side, and a karmically connected spirit shows up. But there are certainly those that just, the door is open and they're like, oh, hey, I need another go around on this planet. Let's duck in here. And you can tell this by looking at the family's charts. You can tell the ones that aren't really related to the family. So anyway, this is talking about the people that we are physically connected to, that are karmic relationships. And by the way, those people that come in that aren't karmically connected are from then on. So how's that for a mind blower? Wow. Well, we're up over 300,000 here, so hey, we're doing great. Oi. So anyway, and one might say, I don't know, I'm not going to wool gather anymore over it, but I'm going to spend some time thinking about that for sure. So I think this is talking about, we really need to look at our up-close relationships. And through this pandemic and through the era of Trumpism worldwide, because we've been going through this horribly steep conservative, nosedive across the planet. Across the planet, we've seen these highly conservative, radicalized conservative people in power. And through this era, we've lost a lot of acquaintances. We've reassessed what friendship means and what communication means and what we require in order for someone to be part of our tribe. And it's been a very interesting thing. And I think this is talking about those relationships and the karma that we're creating. I think we're more aware now of the karma that we're creating. I know part of my decisions when I was blocking people like mad on Facebook, and I've got one cousin that I've blocked her or unfriended her twice now, and she's trying to get back, and it's like, no, I don't need to go through that lesson again. I get it. But our standards of, if you're going to talk that way, if you're showing me who you are and you're that kind of person, I really don't need you as part of my tribe. Plain and simple. So this is kind of like that bringing those ethical standards into our up-close relationships and who we choose for that family. And then spirit, the great severing. Wow. Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. Holy shit, man. Spirit. Okay. This is a stumper. I mean, this is spirit talking about people moving away from spirit, that there's been a great severing. And also, systems that don't work are falling away. We as a planet have a lot of energy, a lot of anger to deal with. If you look at what's been happening, okay, this is it. Here it is. Look at the anger and the rage that's been coming out on this planet. And, look at the angry gods that have been ruling us for how long now? The warlike gods. The jealous gods, the gods of y'all have nobody but me. I'm the greatest. The narcissistic gods, and there's just regardless of the reasons, looking at our culture and just the road that we've come down through capitalism and the Industrial Revolution and you know, all this shit going back to the fucking burning of the library at Alexandria. This road we've been going down and the karma it's been accumulating, and where we are at this culminating point right now, and let me be clear that culminating points happen all the fucking time. But the one that we happen to be at right now, we have to reckon with a lot of anger and rage. And a wise nun once said about the women's movement, you can't push the toothpaste back in the tube. Well, I mean, there are people that have been trying to push that toothpaste back in the tube, and they're trying very hard. And so there's anger among women. There's anger among our black brothers and sisters. There's anger in men. There's anger and rage, and what is rage but infected anger? It is anger that has not been expressed appropriately. It has become infected. It's busting out in a toxic way. So the great severing here is saying this is what is disconnecting us from spirit, and we have to deal with it. We can't just sweep it back under the rug and ignore the kind of rage that came out during this time. So the message, oh shit, you guys, I'm starting to tear up, so that's telling me spirit's talking, man. In order to come back to spirit, we must deal with the rage, and we must hear the anger, and we must heal it. And the thing is that it's systemically induced. The systems that we've set up are set up to oppress and to elevate. In other words, to divide us. And until we deal with those systems, the rage will keep happening, because, you know, moving towards the Aquarian age, and we still have over a century to go before we actually get there, by my estimation. But going into this Aquarian energy with Jupiter and Saturn right now, you know, it's time to update. It's time to update these systems. It's time to, and the updating could happen by things blowing up, because that's Aquarian energy and Uranian energy too. Sudden, unexpected, oopsie, technology gone haywire, sunspots. Anything's possible. So it's time for us to make these choices, to acknowledge the anger and the rage. And what does that mean? It means deal with yours. Deal with yours right now. In counseling, if it's too big to manage. Or just because you deserve a counselor. You know, I hope you have access. I pray you have access. I don't, but, you know. And as we deal with the anger and the rage, then we can remember. So this severing, you think of like dismembering a limb, lopping off a limb, you know, and through healing our anger, we can remember and bring ourselves back together again. All right. That was a big surprise there. That was a big surprise. Because, yeah, we cut ourselves off from spirit when we get so earthbound over here, in the earth but not of it. When we get so earthbound in our feelings and our righteousness. Righteousness is the red flag that you've got anger you need to deal with. And that you got something you need to deal with. Oh my God, you guys. Let's have a little prayer together. I'm going to close down here because my shoulder is singing arias in 4-part harmony. So remember the suggestions I made for you. And boy, I've got to go channel some energy here because I just got slammed with a headache right here. So there was an overload that came through there. So I'm going to put down a root and I'm going to ground that out. And I invite you to just sink into your body. To just feel your body and put down roots from the bottoms of your feet, from the base of your spine. Let all the stress drain out. And draw up earth energy. And when you inhale, let the energy get brighter. On the next several inhales, let it fill you up. And on the next inhale, make it really, really bright. And exhale out the crown. Making your nice egg around you. And then let's reach up into the cosmos and bring down the energy of the sun, moon, and stars and the energy of Jupiter and Saturn in partnership, expansion, generosity and responsibility, justice and duty, fun and responsibility, adventure and structure, hand in hand in the service of humanity. These wonderful energies, the Lord of Karma and Santa Claus. And let that energy come down. And just feel yourself kind of turning inward. Sort of spirit, you turn around to face yourself and walk into your own heart. Walk into the cave, the deep darkness of your own heart, deep inside you. Going inward, inward, inward. Feeling the point, the darkest point of the year, all around us now. The silence, the peace, the sacredness, the dark sacred night. And go willingly into that peace. The peace of solitude. Think of a beautiful winter's night with full moonlight. And imagine now that you're walking down into a cave. And when you first go in, it's very, very, very dark. But as you go in, you notice way at the back there's a tiny light. And move towards that light. And you arrive and you see the light of a single flame, a lamp or a candle, however you see it, whatever color it is. And let there be information in the color of the lamp or the candle, the nature of it. It's exactly what you need. It's the spark of light that you carry in you always, always, always. It's the eternal flame, the light that never goes out. This is the flame of life. That is neither God nor goddess, that is both and. That is the power and the spirit of the universe that you carry within you. That is the same light that everyone else carries as well. Paradox of the single tiny flame that is all flame, all light, all life, and all yours. reach out and pick up this lamp or this candle. And it feels so wonderful in your hands. It feels warm. It feels part of you. Look into that flame for a little while. Open your mind to the information that's there for you. There is light within you, light in the darkness. There is wisdom. Ask it your question. Know that you may get an answer now, you may get an answer later on. But the answer is undoubtedly there. And now take this light with you and you turn back to the entrance where it's dark outside. And there's a long length of cave in front of you that looks pure black, except for the light in your hands. And you start to walk back towards the entrance. And as you walk, you feel the light getting so strong. And you feel that that flame is not outside of you. And as you move towards the entrance of the cave, you also see that the sky is not as dark. And the light that was in your hands is inside of you truly, shining out from your heart. The wisdom that you saw in the light, the answer that it holds for you, as you near the entrance of the cave, starts to shine out strong. And as you reach the entrance, you see the sky changing to the color of dawn. And as you step out, the light from your heart shines out in a flash to greet the light of the rising sun. And you feel the truth that you are one. And you feel the power of this new dawn. We give thanks to Spirit for blessings received and blessings to come. We give thanks for the light within us. We give thanks for the darkest night that shows us the beauty of that light. We give thanks for the blessings all around us, for the shelter we have, for the food that we eat, for the community, the families, for our intellect, for our feelings, for our creativity, for the earth beneath our feet, and we bless every creature on the earth with the blessings that belong to us. And so may we arise on solstice morning tomorrow, beaming blessings to everybody that we come in contact with, beaming our blessings out to the world, the start of a new year. This is another reset, so many resets throughout the year. This is the reset of the light. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, everybody. I had no idea that that was going to come out. So thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for your donations. If you feel moved today, please drop a donation below. There's a couple of sources. Please jump on to Discord, and I'm waiting clarity. You know, as I move forward, there's more and more clarity about the things I want to do with the platforms that I have, and I will pass that clarity on to you. I'll see you tomorrow for another unboxing, and I may jump on for a live tomorrow. Who knows? I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Pardon me, tomorrow. But I know eating is going to be part of it. Eating and drinking and making merry. So I might just jump on here to have a wassail with you. Yes, I will be making wassail. And if you don't know how to make it, just do half and half cider and orange juice. Throw some spices in there and heat it up. Don't boil it, just heat it up to steaming, and then any kind of booze you want in it. You can put cinnamon sticks in it, you can float orange slices and apples and star anise and all that wonderful stuff. And then you raise it up and say, wassail! So, thank you for being here, you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and blessings to you all on the solstice. I'll see you soon. Zen Witch, blessed be.